Semiconductor stocks have increasingly fallen out of favor with some large investors, and we can see that in the price action. I'll show you this here. The question, of course, is it really time to dump these stocks? Now, obviously, we always look at this here through the lens of education, not advice in any shape or form, but we do have to look at semiconductor stocks as a whole, and what we are seeing is a shift that has, quite frankly, been taking place since about mid-summer of last year, 2024, so it's nothing new, but it seems to be accelerating a little bit. So let's have a look at what's going on. First of all, what we do is we very much believe in a trend-following approach when it comes to these big shifts in markets and or in different sectors and industry groups and so on and so forth. In this case, obviously, this is a very important part of the market, and you can see, for example, what we do, the way we track this, we use our Market Rover software for this. I'll make this a bit larger. We have a little watch list here that all our clients use, and it's the semiconductors watch list. Now, we've got not every single semiconductor stock under the world on here because not every one of them is that important, but we've got the big ones on here that we want to track. And what's very notable, if you look at the trend column, these are the big trends, you can see that out of all those names, only 3 of them are currently not in a bearish trend. The trend is sort of the big shift, the big trend, like, in this case, currently it's bearish. So like, for example, on semiconductors, which you can see, ticker symbol ON on the chart there on the right, has been in a bearish trend for the most part since about December of 2023, right? So that's pretty incredible. And then you look at something like AMD, which has been certainly falling out of its bullish trend around, as I said before, the middle part of summer of last year. So no longer a bullish trend. That's the green background color. Whereas before, it was in a hell of a bullish trend. And you can see we want it to remain long, but now it's in a bearish trend. And since that bearish trend started, by the way, it had a couple of fits and starts, but it was never bullish again. The stock's down 33% from the latest point. So these are important shifts, and we can see how this shift happens in real time. Now, the reason we're pointing this out is, A, because it's, as I said before, an important part of the market, B, because everyone's involved in these stocks, way more than they probably should be or even know that they are, and C, because we still have NVIDIA that's going to report earnings, and that's really the wild card. So when you look at all these, we're seeing a lot of shifts. These are big names, right? You look at Micron Semiconductors, been bearish in a trend, and you can see when these trends started. These bearish trends started as little as 5 days ago for ADI, or as little as for Qualcomm, literally just 1 day ago. But some of them have been in place for a long time. Intel, 170 days, and so on and so forth. So it's a big shift in the market, and I think it would be very, very wise to be open-minded here as to what the outcome might be for semiconductors. Again, I think it's more of a time to clip as opposed to go short, largely because we do want to wait for NVIDIA report. But again, these trends are not new. So from an asset allocation perspective, for me personally, again, not advice, but for me, this is certainly a time to reduce semiconductor exposure. And from a trading perspective, if I want to be aggressive, maybe on the short side. But again, just keeping in mind that NVIDIA still has report earnings here coming up in the next couple of weeks.